ação bateu mesmo, porque, gente, esse vai ser o último convidado, última convidada, né? Da segunda temporada. Gianni Gabreilly convida, cara. Difícil, sabe? Mas o legal é que vamos viver esse momento que ainda não acabou, vamos ser felizes. É bipolar, né, gente? O legal é que a convidada é muito legal, mesmo. Tipo, e é uma pessoa que eu admiro e eu também tô nervosa pra encontrar ela. Gente, deixa eu acender a luzinha aqui do meu quarto, que eu apaguei e agora vai ficar muito azul. Anne Gabriele, viu? Enquanto isso, escutem minha voz. Oi, liguem pra dizer que hoje eu não vou voltar. Aê, temos mais luz agora. Ué, desligou tudo, né, gente? Bom dia. Bom dia! Aê! Eu não quero ficar muito azul de novo, porque acontece. Mas é o seguinte. Ai, tô com o coração acelerado, mas eu vou fingir costume, como eu sempre faço. Vai parecer que eu sou amiguinha já, de que eu conheço há anos, mas não. Gente, tô assim. É o seguinte. A nossa próxima convidada é Dove Cameron. Hi, Dove. I don't know if you're here already, but I'm gonna invite you. Yes, you are. Woohoo! Da 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 da.
Hi, you look
Hello!
so cute.
Oh my god.
I love your red lip.
I'm back.
Hello?
Thank you so much.
You look so
beautiful.
good. So do you. So cute.
Just getting dressed to be at home all day long.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, for who? For no one. For me.
For myself, to look at
Yeah,
the
for
mirror and
me.
be like, wow, I'm so beautiful. But how are you right now? How's your quarantine going? Tell me all about it.
I am okay. I think that the most important thing is that, we're safe at home. We have all our needs met. That's really lucky. Really, really lucky. Not everybody has that. But I want to leave room for my fans to be struggling a little bit because I think that this is hard for any human being. This situation is not normal. So I think that it's okay to say that yeah, it's a little bit hard. I mean, how are you doing?
I'm doing good actually. Like, I'm a person that's always doing 1,000 things on a
Yeah.
day. So for me, staying at home is a bit weird. Like, like what am I doing? I feel like I'm kind of useless, and I feel like a lot of people feel like that. Like I
Useless.
wake up, like I don't want to get up, but then I've realized that it's fine to sometimes just like be laying down and just like not want to do anything and not do it because it's a weird moment for us. It's a weird moment for our minds. So I'm just letting myself be, and I feel like I'm working a lot too, so that's keeping me busy. I'm fine.
Yeah, it's interesting how much we can get done from home. I feel like I'm working so much. It's
Right?
really,
It's
yeah.
almost like more than before because we don't really have a time limit at home. We can work for as long as we want. It's not like your house is gonna shut and you have to go somewhere to rest, you know? Like
That's so
you can
true.
yeah, you can just be here until 3 a.m. on your bed doing things. So that can be complicated too. A lot of people are like, I have to be productive. I'm actually doing a lot. I'm taking Spanish classes, sign language. I'm learning how to play guitar. I'm just finding out new things about myself. I tried cooking, but that wasn't good.
Yeah, me too. I'm hopeless at cooking. I don't know what it is. I can bake like I can bake like a bad ass bitch, but I
Ooh.
cannot. I can. I'm such a good baker, but I find that like cooking is just too much like it's too up to interpretation. Like I don't have that
Mm.
cooking thing that I
Yeah,
think
I know.
people do.
Like my mom has. My mom knows how much salt you put and how much thing, and then it's just perfect. But
Yeah.
for me, I just like follow the recipe and I'm like doing everything right, and then it's just not good. It's not
Yeah,
as
and
good
then
as I
something just
thought it
happens
would
and
be.
it's not nice.
So I'm just like, maybe it's not for me. So I
Yeah,
just
we've
gave
moved on
up.
from it. We tried it. We didn't like
Yeah,
it. It didn't gel with us. We move on.
it's fine. It's fine.
Cooking is not our thing, and now we know.
Have you done anything that you've never done before?
Actually, yeah. My I mean, this is mostly my boyfriend mostly did this, but we have these two little balconies and we're kind
Uh-huh.
of making them into something. They're really small, so they're like you can't really like be out on them very much. They're kind of like standing only, but we're trying to make them like sort of like a nice space to be. And so we've been like we painted like a flower pot and well, he painted the flower pot, but I painted some of the flower pot or some of the bedside table, and he's been being really like crafty. Like our dryer broke, and so we have these two big pillars in our house, and so we had to hang like rope, and we've been hanging clothes and just sort of like getting really creative. I think that when your options are really limited, you surprise yourself with how resourceful you can be. And you're like, oh, I got this. Like, I don't know why I thought I needed someone else to do this for me before. I've been doing my nails. I got like one of those little like gel machines. So I've been like taking care of my nails.
That's so hard. That's so hard. I tried and it didn't really work for me.
No? Okay. Maybe we'll have gel Skype lesson. But yeah, no, yeah. I feel like definitely I've been really creative.
Yeah, I've been trying to do things that I've never done before, but I don't know. I think I just put too much pressure on myself, and then it's not as fun as it should be. But I'm trying to find out how to make it fun, you know?
Yeah, yeah. What's your star sign? Do you know?
My star sign is Libra. Libra?
Okay. Okay, so like balance. So you're looking for like balance maybe. I don't know too much about it. I'm like pretending. I'm like, okay, so balance.
Really?
But
I
yeah,
do the
but
same thing. I do the
you
same
sound
thing.
like
I'm
you worked
what's
really
your
hard.
star sign? Like I
Yeah.
know all about it, and
And then I'm like, I don't know.
do you live in LA?
Yeah, I live in LA.
Oh yeah, then like everyone in LA is kind of like star signs.
Yeah.
Like,
What's your star sign? Yeah.
yeah, what's your star sign? Like green juice.
Yeah. But you sound like someone who works really hard, which can be difficult in this time because, like you said, there's no boundaries. And I feel like you really have to set up boundaries. Like, especially for me, I'm so the kind of person where I either need to not work at all or I need to like only work. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like if I do like a couple things in a day, I'm like, oh, I'm overwhelmed. Or I need to do them all on one day, and I'm like, I feel great. Today's like productive, but I need that sort of boundary around my life at home. Because that's something we've never had to do before, you know?
Well, it's good that you know how to organize, like, and you know yourself, you know your limits, and you know everything. So that makes it easier. That makes it better.
Yeah, I'm working.
So there's a lot of Brazilians here that don't know you yet. So let's just talk more about you. Let's start on your career. How did you find out that you wanted to sing and act and do all that you do?
I feel like it's just something that comes really naturally to you when you're young. Like I find that most people who do what, you know, what we all do in this industry, it was something that like you couldn't really avoid. Like I just loved singing so much. I loved acting so much. I loved films more than anything, and I loved music more than anything. And so I just knew that it was something that I wanted to be a part of. I didn't know what I wanted to do necessarily. Like I knew I loved film and TV and music. But it was really like lucky. I just got lucky with finding myself in the position that I'm in now. And I'm still just like I'm having a really good time with it. So I'm feeling very like, as long as I feel like you have to check in with yourself every once in a while. And as long as you're like, I feel still passionate about this, I still feel excited about this, I still feel involved, then you're doing the right thing. And that can change. So yeah, I feel really lucky.
That's very true. That's very true. I always stop sometimes and think about like, do I want to be that? Does that make me happy still? And I'm happy that it does make me happy. I love singing. I love doing all of that. So I totally get you. We're very privileged to be able to do all that we do. Right?
Yeah.
And I just want to say a total random thing, but I feel like if I take a screenshot, it would be a perfect picture every single time.
No!
Like,
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm literally sitting here thinking the same thing about you. I'm like, her skin is so nice. I literally was like, how does she do that with her skin? I love it. I follow all of these like beautiful women just so I can be like, oh, women are so beautiful. Like, women are so magical to me. Do you feel the same way?
Yes. I look at them like, how can we be so awesome? Like,
yeah, I know. I'm such a girl's girl. I'm like, wow, look at that girl. Look at that girl. She's gorgeous. Oh my God, you're so funny. I'm like, oh, I'm such a girl's girl. It's embarrassing.
I'm always like that. I'm like, oh my God, you're so pretty. Oh my God, and it's like, it's genuine. I promise it's genuine.
I know. It's always genuine. It just comes off a little creepy sometimes because I'm a little bit much.
Love it. So another topic is you inspire a lot of people, like a lot of young girls and a lot of just like everyone, honestly, with your story and with your career. And how is that for you? Is it a lot of responsibility? Do you feel pressured by anything?
I think when I was younger, I think the real answer is when I was younger, I thought I needed to be something for everybody. Like I think definitely starting out, I always thought I was kind of a bit like wrong for Disney. Like I even came into my relationship with Disney Channel thinking that I was maybe a bit too edgy or I just wasn't as like bubbly as their normal people that they go for.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think my own like self-consciousness, feeling like maybe the public wouldn't like me, or maybe I was too shy and I needed to be more like whatever. Like I thought I wasn't good enough for the public.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think I sort of, for a while, felt that I needed to be something else. And so I kind of like was more like, I dressed very like bubbly and very girly. And I was like just trying to be like the girl next door. And I was trying to not make anybody mad. And, you know, I never said that I had tattoos or whatever, just because I was always a bit more edgy, a bit darker, and I just kind of didn't think that people would want that from me. Not that there was anything wrong with it. I was just sort of like, I don't think the public likes that very much for the stuff that I'm doing. And so I think in that sense, I used to feel pressure to be the role model that other people wanted me to be. And then when I figured out sort of the role model that I would have needed when I was a young girl, which like I was never that girl. I was never really that kind of audience. I think then I stopped feeling pressure because I was like, oh, a role model isn't just one thing. A role model can be living authentically. A role model can be speaking to the minority, not, you know, not the masses. A role model can be being exactly the purest version of yourself. And being honest about, you know, mental health struggles, not pretending to be perfect all the time, and being like, hey, I have so many different sides to myself, and I'm sure you do too. Let's celebrate that. Like, it doesn't have to be just one thing. And I think then I stopped feeling the pressure that I felt when I was younger.
It's interesting because like youth is such a, like a big moment for us because we're finding out so much about ourselves. We don't even know like who we are really, and then being young in the public eye is even harder because like you have to find out all of that about yourself while everyone else around you is watching you. So yeah, I understand the pressure and everything. And like right now I'm 17, so I'm kind of at that moment where I'm like, wait, like am I good enough, or is that what people want me to be? But then I'm also like finding out that I don't really need to be anything that people want me to be, because they don't want anything. They're just looking for something relatable, and I just have to be myself because it's gonna make me happy too. Like it's just so hard to pretend that you're something that you're not. So yeah, I'm also at this point. Well, you've been through this point now. Right now you already know who you are and what you want, but right now I am at this moment where I'm like trying to find out who I am, what do I want to do, and all that. It's complicated, but I'm actually going with it, you know, just like letting it be.
Yeah, the one secret that I would say for like, I mean, not that everybody's at the same point, at the point that you're at, and not that I could generally say that, but the one thing that I think nobody really tells you is that there is no right way to do anything in your life. There's no right way to, you know, be a role model. There's no right way to navigate certain situations. There's no right way to like navigate things that are the same for everybody, different for everybody. And people love to tell you that there's like a specific right way to do things. Like, this is the right way to be this age. This is when you transition to being this way. And there's no right way. And the only right way that you could do is to be as like in touch with yourself and as in touch with what you need, and be doing things literally only for you, what you need. Because then when you have all your needs met, you can love yourself, you can love other people better, and you come from a place of clarity. And then every situation is a lot easier to face because you're not attempting to like mold yourself into 100 different shapes just because you think that's what people want from you. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Thank you so much. And I'm sure that everybody that's watching is like, thank you, thank you, thank you. Everybody needs to hear advice from someone that has been through all that we're going through. So talking about now your inspirations, is there someone that you want to collab with one day, work with on a movie or anything one day?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to work with, I think in terms of acting, I would love to work with someone like, I don't know if you know who Jessica Lange is, or Stanley Tucci, people like that. I love Saoirse Ronan. I love older actors. I love actors who feel very like comfortable in themselves. Obviously, Saoirse Ronan's really young, but I just think she's incredible. But I love people who feel very comfortable in themselves, because I feel like acting is such a process of shedding what you think about yourself so that you can have the most honest performance, it's just a really hard thing to do. And then I think with music, I'd love to collab with like Doja Cat.
Ooh.
I love Doja Cat. Eminem. I love, let's see, there's a band called Saint Vincent, which is incredible. I love Upsall. Yeah, people like that.
That's good. That's really good.
Thanks.
And you recently received the KCA, the Kids Choice Awards, and it's
Yeah.
an award voted by the people. So everyone voted you as the best actress, right? It was best actress. Um, how did you feel? Like, did you? Okay, when I'm nominated for anything, I never believe I'm gonna win it.
No,
How's that for
never.
you?
Never believe you're gonna win it. No, and that's like, I think that's probably a good place to be though. I think I'd rather be in that place than being like, ah, I'm gonna win it, because that's just boring. And also, you never know. Like, I always think there's this thing actually. You might appreciate this or feel this. But there's this quote, I don't remember who it's by, and I don't remember the actual quote, but there's like a sort of great, coming from a great place. I don't know who it's by or what they even said. No, but it's like, but basically, there's this idea that um, a lot of like successful people who have found success in their field have this complex where they think that they're a fraud. Do you know about this? It's this really interesting psychology. So like anybody who's found success in their field, like from anybody like who's involved in science to, our healthcare workers to writers to performers, things like that. There's this overwhelming like amount of data that shows that they believe that they are a fraud, and like one day they're going to be found out for being untalented or undeserving of the things that they've gotten. And I feel like that is such a common thing in our field, where we're like, oh no, I couldn't have won that. Oh no, they made a mistake. Or oh no, like that's not me. And I think that that's just such a common thing for performers in general. You may have that, but I definitely never ever believe that A, anything good is going to happen, or B, after it's happened, that I deserve it. I'm like, you guys made a mistake. I think that's just like a performer thing.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know why we're so hard on ourselves. Because I thought it was just me, but I think every artist that I've ever talked to, everyone is so hard on themselves. And like, we want to be so good. And when we achieve all those things, we're like, oh, nah, no, it wasn't me. Like, you guys did it and someone else did it. And it's like, we don't own our success. And that thing that you just said about us believing that we're a fraud, that happens to me so much. I'm so scared that at one point I'm going to be like, on the stage and then I'm gonna sing and everyone's gonna be like, oh, so that's her, ew.
Yeah. Yes. Like, oh wait, you can't sing, even if you can. Like, you think someone's gonna be like, wait a minute, we don't actually like you very much. And you're like, great, I don't like me either. Yeah. No, I think that's really common though. I think that that's just something that we have to recognize in ourselves and be like, that's a universal thing. And also, no, I deserve this. I worked hard for this, and I feel grateful to have this life.
That's a good way to think. That's a good way to think. So you just released a song called Remember Me.
Yes.
Yeah? So tell everybody about your song.
So Remember Me is my latest single. It's one of my favorite ones that I've done so far, including songs that I've like never played for you guys. It's so special to me. It feels very much to me like I'm a very big fan of like the Suicide Squad soundtrack, and that kind of like big, oh God, I love that sound. That kind of like Harley Quinn Suicide Squad vibe that feels very like dark and cinematic and very like it belongs in a film. And I really wanted to do a song like that kind of like when you hear it, you feel like you're in the movie. And that's kind of like what Remember Me reminds me of, at least in production and things like that. And I always feel like when I listen to it, I'm transported to like, it's 3 a.m. It's been raining. You're in Tokyo for some reason, or you're in New York, and like the sun's coming up in a few hours, and you're with, your significant other, and it's just like this young love, kind of darker adventure kind of feeling that's really about that time in your life where you're so in love with your significant other, your life, and yourself that you're like, wow, everything is perfect right now, and it won't always be, and I just want to live in this moment forever.
I understand.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah, definitely. So I know you've been to Brazil.
Yes.
First, how did you like it?
I love Brazil. I loved going to Brazil. I've only been one time, but it was so amazing. I mean, everybody that I met was so passionate. Like, I mean, the fans in Brazil are like unparalleled, so passionate. And it was such a beautiful energy to be around. And yeah, I mean, I feel like I think I was in Brazil when a fan gave me, she gave me a tiara that I still have. Like it was like a very special tiara to her, and I still have it on my nightstand. So yeah, it was very, very
That's
special
so
interaction.
sweet. Do you know anything in Portuguese?
Okay, if I get this wrong, don't be mad at me. Obrigado?
No. Obrigada.
Obrigada. Okay,
Yeah,
obrigada.
because you're a girl.
Right?
But yeah, you know it. You know it. There's obrigada. Do you know how to say hi?
I forget.
That's very easy. It's oi.
Oi. Okay.
Oi.
Oi.
I love how every time I teach, people do the same sound as me. If I do oi or oye, they're gonna do oye.
It's because you sound so beautiful when you say it. Your accent's amazing. So it's like it's hard not to want to say it like you.
You like it? Oh, that's cute. Did you try any food? Because everybody talks about the food here.
Wait, what's like the famous thing that people eat for dessert?
Brigadeiro.
What is it?
Brigadeiro. Is it chocolate? Like a
Yeah,
brown
yeah.
chocolate thing.
Yeah, we had that. We had some fans bring us some of that, and I think we tried it on camera. It's really, really nice.
I'm glad you like it. Brazilian food, it can be different for foreigners sometimes, but it's just they always like it. So like I'm proud of my food. Seriously.
Oh, it's so
I'm always
nice.
like, Brazil has good food.
You're like, did you try the food? Did you try the food though?
Did you try the
Because
food? Did you like it? I know you did.
yeah, it was
So
amazing.
changing totally the subject right now. A lot of musical fans are talking about you doing Glinda on Wicked's live action. How do you feel about that?
I would love to do that. I think that, um, yeah, I mean, like, I've been pretty upfront about the fact that Wicked is one of my favorite shows. And I grew up loving Galinda and always wanting to be a part of the show in general. So the fact that they're making it into a movie was definitely something where I was like, hey. I was like, I'm here, I've been training since I was 7. I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's just one of those like ultimate dream kind of things. So I think going back to the conversation we had before, it's like, it's kind of hard to imagine that that would actually happen. You know, like I'm sort of like, there's no way that it would happen. But I think that the fan responses and the amount of support that I've had has been like special enough as it is. You know, it's quite like kind of magical to even be thought of for it. So.
Okay, I'm gonna look back at this moment when you're Glinda.
I'll text you first. You'll be the first person
We'll be
to
like,
know.
we talked about this. And you've been to Broadway, really. You've been on Clueless and Lights at the Piazza. And just tell me about your experience. I'm a New York fan. I love New York. Like, it's literally my dream to live in New York. I love everything about New York. So I remember when I saw your posts, like when you were moving and everything, and I was just like emotional for you.
Aw, thank
So I
you.
just want to know about your experience.
That was amazing. I think that theater is really special. It's really different than film and TV. It's very like it feels very like theater people are very expressive. It's a very it feels a lot less like work, if that makes any sense. Like film and TV feel very much like you're going to your job and you get there in the morning and you do hair and makeup and you learn your lines. Like I know that it doesn't seem like this from the outside, but it is very much like a job. It's very professional. There's a lot of rules. It's very like high pressure, you know, when you're on set. But when you're doing a show, while it's high pressure when you're actually doing it, when you're coming to rehearsals every day and all that, it's very like almost like summer camp. Like it's really fun. Like you get to know the people really well. There's no real pressure. It's all like playing around so that you can get the best product possible. And so there's something really special about doing theater, and doing theater in New York. There's nothing better. Like when I moved to New York, I lived like 4 blocks away from Times Square, which I don't recommend because it was really loud. But I lived like on like the 18th floor, and so like you could see like the skyline, and it felt very, I mean, I was in like a little tiny like shoebox corner apartment, but it was so dreamy. It was so like what I would have wanted for my first time living in New York to be like. And then to be like waking up in the morning and you're like, gotta get my coffee, and you like brush your hair really quickly and you're like running down the street, you're like, I'm gonna be late for rehearsal. It's like, it was so romantic. It was so like my little Broadway dream. So yeah, it was really special.
I also do have that little Broadway dream. Like,
Do you?
yeah, I don't even know if it's only like Broadway dream. It's because I started with musicals, but it's just like a New York dream, I think. I don't know what it is, but that city, I've been twice, and I just want to live there. So I literally watch movies sometimes if I see the movie and it is on New York, it's recorded in New York. I'm like, I'm gonna watch this movie.
Oh my
I
God,
don't
I do
know.
that all the time, but with Paris. Like, I feel like you're like movies set in New York, and you're like, oh, I'm there.
Yeah, exactly. And like the rating can be terrible. I'm still gonna watch it.
Me too. I'm like, I'll watch a movie in French, like, because I speak a little bit of French. Like, you're learning Spanish, I'm learning French. So I can, like, roughly know what they're saying, but not fluently and not at the rate that they're speaking. And it can be, like, some random movie set in Paris that, like, I have even no interest in, but I'm like, wow. Like, I'm like,
It's the same movie. I'm just like, wow, this movie is so good. Even if I don't like it, I'm just like, New York, New York, New
it's
York.
perfect. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just there's something about that city that just gets to me. And I live in a city. I live in São Paulo here in Brazil. It's also very loud. So I think I'm used to the noise and everything in the city. So I don't think I would have a hard time adapting or anything.
You are going to do it. You're going to move to New York and you're going to have your New York dream. And then you'll go and you'll do Broadway and it's going to be so magical. And then you'll look back on this live stream and you'll think, wow, we talked about it and it happened.
Okay, so when I'm doing Broadway in New York and you're doing Glinda,
you just DM me.
We have to connect. We're like, I'm in Broadway, and you're going to be like,
it happened.
Yeah,
we manifested it starting on this day.
It's so nice to share those things with you. I feel like I'm talking to a friend that I know for a long time already.
Me too.
And
you're so lovely.
Unfortunately, we're at the end of this live stream. So yeah, I just want to thank you very much. I've been how do you say that? My English is a bit bad. But
no, your English is perfect. I can't even believe like your English is flawless.
Thank you, but sometimes my brain just goes crazy a little bit.
That's fine. I totally understand.
But I was trying to say that I've been watching your things for a very long time. So yeah, I'm a fan. So congrats on everything. Congrats on everything you've achieved, and I have my fingers crossed for Glinda.
I have my fingers crossed for that Broadway New York dream.
Yes. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
And, yeah, so nice talking to you.
Yeah, you're an angel. Have a great rest of your night. It's night, right?
Yeah, it's night.
Okay, have a great rest of your night. You're so
you
lovely.
You too. Take
Thanks
care.
for speaking to me. Bye.
Gente, tudo pra mim. Sério, que pessoa incrível. Eu vim aqui pra esse canto azul, muito azul, porque o meu celular tava acabando a bateria. Meu celular tá um pouco viciado, mas vocês não ligam não, né, gente? Dá até uma vibe diferente. Então, gente, isso aconteceu. E vou falar um pouquinho aqui, porque agora eu tenho tempo mesmo. Tá todo mundo zerou a vida, sim, gente, eu zerei a vida. Eu não sei o que sentir, eu tô muito feliz e eu tô com o coração ao mesmo tempo muito apertado, porque a segunda temporada do Gabreilly Convida está chegando ao fim, mas repito, a segunda temporada. Então, gente, é isso. Ah, minha amiga aqui. Amiga, você não ia pegar o powerbank tá sem bateria, por isso que eu tive que vir aqui pra tomada. Mas sério, muito obrigada a todo mundo que fez o Gabreilly Convida a ser especial, assim, do jeito que foi. Obrigada especial a todos os convidados que fizeram parte desse momento. Eles não estão aqui para escutar, mas enfim, vou agradecer porque significa muito para mim. Muito obrigada à Central de Fãs, gente. Eu tenho que agradecer eles, especialmente a Central de Fãs, porque eles passam assim horas do dia deles falando com convidados e fazendo pauta comigo. Às vezes fazem pauta até sozinho. E a gente cria coisas juntas. Agradecer a minha mãe, meu cachorro por ter acreditado em mim, não sei o que. Parece que eu tô aceitando um prêmio, né? Mas de verdade, todo mundo que fez o Gabreilly Convida a acontecer, todo mundo que fez o Gabreilly Convida a ser especial, e o obrigada mais especial é para todos vocês que estão sempre assistindo, que são telespectadores fiéis, né? Então, muito obrigada, gente. Tô feliz de verdade e tô com o coração apertado. Segunda temporada chegou ao fim. Tô pensando muito ainda sobre terceira, quarta, quinta, 20ª, porque sim, porque eu sou uma pessoa ocupada, tem muita coisa acontecendo na minha vida, mas eu só sei que foi muito especial e tô muito feliz. Então, obrigada. Amo vocês de verdade e se cuidem, tá bom? Não vai ter live amanhã, vou chorar. Não, tchau.